What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Bricks and Toys. In today's video, I could have possibly ruined myself by doing one of the most dumbest things I have ever done. I do not know why, but for some reason, my itch of retired sets is inching its way back, but not in a way of where I'm going out and buying anything retired. There's retired sets that I've always wanted that I'm just laser focused on wanting to get. There's a problem though. I don't have Lego funding the way I did when I started this channel, so thus I don't have the support to go out and buy whatever the hell I want for however much I want and eliminate the risk. It's not a thing as of this year. So we just flat out, we don't buy retired sets anymore. We don't do it. Except for, we are doing it. I recently got really sick. I got a really bad fever. And in a fever pitch, I bought the Ferrari F40 from 2014 or 2015. I was able to get all the replacement parts for it for free from a local company here called 5 Star Bricks. Thank you to them so much. And it ended up not biting me in the butt. I paid about a $190 out the door for that set. It's worth about $190 for that set. I am super happy. So that worked out, but not in a fever pitch. I bought this. Now, this could be a big mistake. I honestly only did this because I am currently selling a small amount of Lego, a large amount of Funko, to basically open up my house a little bit better, change some furniture around, so that way when I have family over to visit, we're not single filing out of my living room, which is highly uncomfortable, and my family's not the type of family that wants to come over to someone's house if it's that cramped. So, if I'm going to sell a small fraction of my Lego, I really want to put that money back into Lego. Well, I have something coming from the UK that's almost equal value to this as part of the money that I earned, but with the rest of the money, which is about $400, I bought this. Now, what this is the 2013 set number 75021 Republic Gunship. The one that has the Phase 1 troopers, Obi, Anakin, and not to mention the ripped shirt Padme. Mint. This has been on my list of play Star Wars sets right there with the Bad Batch attack shuttle that I have currently up there. I was going to purchase this set a couple years ago, brand new in box, for what I paid for this really sketchy mess, and I never did. That's when things started falling apart with my investor, my house. I ended up moving here. It just never happened. I did manage in that deal to get the attack shuttle, but I did not manage to get the money for this guy. And here we are, almost a year and a half later, about a year later actually, and now this set has continued to skyrocket in price, for one with all of the minifigures, and now I paid what I wanted to pay for one in box, for one that is in a box, but not the box that I want it to be in, and it's completely sketch. Let's take a look at the listing and what I bought, and then we'll get into the box. So I'm going to drop that clip right here. Okay, everybody. So here is the listing, and here are our other listings, and here's the price that I paid up here. Let's go over this listing so you guys can see why I feel like this was a huge gamble. Now, the price I paid was $375 out the door. He could have taken the best offer, but I saw all the minifigures, and I thought this might be the one. Now, if we do go down into the description here, it basically says the set number, released in 2013 with 1175 pieces, and then all of that. And then it does say that what it's designed for, all the typical Lego stuff. And it does say used, 100% complete. I only found one of the old Super Battle droids, so I'm throwing in 2 extra of the new ones. I'm not sure if there's a difference between the old and the new. That is something that I am worried about. Now, he does have his feedback as 94.1 with 74 items since 2017. That's pretty good for a seller. Excellent transaction. Shipping was quick on this guy. Fast shipping, but the item was not described and all of this. So that is kind of scary. But that was some type of looks like a computer graphics card or something that he failed to sell correctly. But his Lego stuff seems like, pretty good reviews. So let's take a look at the pictures really quick, and let me blow up the pictures. Here we go. So this is the set that I purchased. This is what is in the box that I showed you guys earlier. And as you guys can see, we have the lovely Padme, we have the Anakin, we have the Obi, as well as the Phase 1 troopers, and I guess we have one of the original battle droids with two of the new ones. Not sure which ones are which. Hopefully they're in the box. We can compare them. Here we can see some of the functions, and then we can see the turrets and all of that. And there we got the front of it, and then we have one of the troopers inside of it. And then there's the back with the doors that open up and the turret back there. All of this stuff seems to be here. And then we also have what looks to be all the greebling parts up here. You know, everything looks pretty straightforward with this set. So, like I said, I did pay the $375 for it. And here is my order sheet blown up. This was an 11, almost a 12 in the morning purchase decision to buy. I ended up paying $460 out the door because he did want $56 additional for shipping and $375 for the set itself with $30 worth of tax. Got to pay Uncle Sam. Now, why did I agree to pay such a high price for a old children's play set? Well, let's take a look at these sets. In Canada, this one is basically $240 just for the gunship alone. Here is the minifigures for $235 alone. And here's another one for $270 plus $50, so basically $330, no minifigures. Here's another one for $400, buy it now with free delivery. Let's check this guy out and let's see what he's about. Now, I do see we are missing two of the battle droids right off the get. Ours does look like it does have that speeder. He does have a box with this one, but let's take a look at the description. Okay, so everything with this one looks relatively good, but this listing was posted one day after when I purchased, so that might have actually been the better deal if it was available at the time of purchase. Again, we got another one for $330. We got one with the bag. Here's one close to mine for the same price that I paid, and right there, as you can see, you know, used but not complete. That is a huge problem. Let's continue on taking a look. Here we got one with all of, well, no, not all of the figures, a bunch of mixed figures. Again, $500. So you can see the prices on these vary. For one new in box with minor damage is $700. So it's really hard to find one of these in the correct shape that you would want it in. Here's one with no figures for $365 and $25 or best offer. So again, not the best. Here we have another one with 3 minifigures, the posters and instructions. These guys wanted about $330, $340. So there is such a gray market on this set. I don't know if I got the best deal, but I know I got an okay deal, and I know it's sketchy as hell to make this video. So let's go back and let's talk about it. So that was the listing. And as you guys could see from going through the eBay listings, the price I paid was kind of like dead in the middle, but then there was some people that wanted the price I paid for this, missing the Padme minifigures. The minifigures on some of these were being sold as a group for half of what I paid. As you guys can see, it is just a Wild West market for this set. And that's one of the reasons I made this set so hard for me to ever get, is because there's not a dead set target price of either and or. It's whatever it is, and at the time you buy, you're going to get the best deal that you could find, or the sketchiest, or the best sketchiest deal, in my case. As you guys saw, one of the listings that came out the day after I purchased this might have been the better listing for me to have purchased than this set. But I didn't know that if I waited 24 hours, that listing would come across. Because you never know who's posting and when people are posting on eBay. So when you get the hair to buy, you go on, you do the best you can, and you make YouTube videos about it. So let's go over and let's check out this box of my $460 playset. Basically 4 times more than what it was when it was new. So as we can see here, this person doesn't usually ship. As a person that ships a lot, I can tell just by the UPS box or USPS box. That's usually the first sign that, you know, they went to the post office, got a free box. That's usually what that means. Then the label is printed out with a whole 8x11 sheet of paper. So that's another sign. So, you know, the inexperience in shipping is a good sign in my opinion. That means he's selling things not in a large amount. I mean, I'll show you guys what I do. Like, all my boxes are brand new. They're neat. I can't show you the information, but my labels, they're cut. Like, I have a system when I do it because I'm really familiar with doing it. As we saw, this guy's only made 74 sales. A lot of it's Star Wars, so maybe he's just selling his collection and he's not an actual rolling business with doing it. But I can't complain. The box is nice. You know, it's a green flag from this point. But we did see in the listing that the set was whole. That doesn't sound like it's very whole. But again, it is an 1,100 piece set. So if he did break it down, put it back into bags, well, he could have used half of this box. I know that from me selling my sets. And when I sold my Coruscant Guard Gunship from 2023, just a couple days ago, I put it in a box about this big because I sold it as a whole, not a part. Hopefully, they get it as a whole. So now, let's do this moment together of cutting open this box. And let's see, did Bricks and Toys really get shafted? I honestly feel like I'm already shafted by paying the ridiculous markup on these sets. I say that this is my most expensive Lego set I've ever purchased because even with the Town Hall, that was $1,000 and I ended up being able to resell it for like $600 after I built it. That set at least is a Town Hall 18 and older set. This is a play set from 2013 for similar money. Well, half the money as that. But if you did get one new in box, it'd be almost the price of a Town Hall new in box for an 1,100 piece kids set. Yeah. Let's continue. So now we are open and we are taking a look. And so, yeah, he took it apart. So it's good that he did take it apart because now I can clean it. So what are some of the things that I'm really concerned about? Why do I keep saying that this is sketchy? Well, what I'm concerned about is, one, this is a white and burgundy ship. White is the key word that I'm talking about here. White Lego in the sun will yellow. I noticed when I was looking for this set, a lot of these sets, even at a higher price point, was yellow. I do not want yellow. The second thing is, this being a desirable Republic gunship from 2013, it is likely to get Chinese remade by people and put into the box. And you end up spending $460 on a bunch of China. Not that there's anything wrong with China Lego, but I would expect to pay $150 for this, not $460. And the third thing that I'm really worried about is the minifigures. I really, really, really want those minifigures. Those minifigures, especially the Padme, have been on my Lego list since I started this YouTube channel 2.5 years ago. I love the Attack of the Clones, episode 2 Padme with the ripped shirt. I mean, in real life, it's freaking hot. But in Lego, it would just be cool to have her as a minifigure to, memorize that moment in plastic Lego. And I guess the fourth thing is what I can just pull out of the box right now, and that's transparent elements. Are these destroyed? So, there's brick condition, there's brick authenticity, and then there's actual inclusion of minifigures. And are the minifigures even in good shape? Like, these are all things that makes me so nervous when doing this. So this is how the set came, everybody. We do have loose brick, and we do have it in bags. This is one bag that broke open. Not, that's post office stuff, no big deal. Then we have another bag. We got some more transparent elements. And then we have the bag with the figures. Man, my heart is racing because this is a lot of money. And this is one thing I didn't expect. Maybe it was in the listing. I didn't fully expect it. We did get the instructions. So when you are comparing my pricing and stuff, we can compare it to me at least getting the instructions. And these are all the loose pieces I'm about to dump out right now. Carefully. We are dealing with 12-year-old brick. So we want to be very careful with this set. We don't want to risk breaking anything, especially the brown. The brown may be a huge risk of breaking. Now I think I saw some more pieces in here. Let's just make sure. No, we are empty. So we have everything out. So where do we want to begin with this? Well, let's look at the transparent elements. Then we'll look at the figures, and then we'll get to cleaning it. I'll clean this set off camera as I normally do. but then I will categorize and inventory the set, and I'll let you guys know what the damage report of this set actually is. So here's two of our translucent elements. These are the ones that hold basically the troopers into the cockpit. Let's give it a quick polish. These look actually really good. So that is a really good sign. Then we do have our white brick, and it's white. At least white enough for me to be happy with it 100%. We can take a look at our bags. We do have some more for the turret stations. And again, these are printed. The prints do not look scratched. They look good. So this is a good sign. Let's continue to, I think there's 4 or 3. I see 3 here. And yeah, these look good as well. So I'm getting the sense that this set may have been put on an adult collector's shelf and taken good care of, because these are cleaning up. These look very good. So transparent elements, check. I'm happy. They're not going to be perfect at 12 years old. Even my sets that I've had since brand new, just dusting them with a makeup brush kind of ruins that glossy luster that they can have and makes it a little dull. So that's what I'm seeing here, and I'm fine. Then the white brick issue, well, that's looking not to be an issue at all. So we got good brick condition. We don't know if it's all here. That we'll find out after we clean it and then we go through it. So for now, the bricks are good. So then we go on to the minifigures. But first, I want to just take a second to look at the books. The books are in really good shape. I have 2 books, and that is a huge win. I don't know if I bought the listing with the understanding I'm getting books, but they're here. I do want to take another look. Yeah, everything's looking really good. So now let's look at the minifigures. So he did say that there was an issue with the battle droids. Let's see. We do have the lightsabers already included. There we have our Anakin. Anakin has his Padawan braid, so that's accurate for Attack of the Clones. His print looks good. I don't see any cracks on his arms. Usually the arms do crack where the hands and stuff go. Legs look good. Everything looks good. There we have Obi's lightsaber. Let's take a look at Obi. I am saving Padme for the last because my cheeks are clenched on this deal. And I don't see any cracks around the arms. No scratching on the torso. We have good prints. We'll talk all about that later. We do need to check the sides of the torso because they can crack where the legs go in, but I'm not seeing any of that. Here we finally have, in the Bricks and Toys collection, finally, some Phase 1 troopers, which are awesome. Again, we want to check the torsos and make sure that they're not cracked, which I'm not seeing any cracks. And again, they are white. They're not sun-bleached, so that is awesome. Very happy with these guys. Love them. And then we have our battle droids, and I can immediately see the difference in the battle droids. So the head mold is a little bit different on the new ones versus the old ones. The old one is a little bit more bigger. I don't know how you put it. I mean, I don't know if my camera's going to focus, but I'll go ahead and I'll shoot the shot. Yeah, and they're looking at them. You guys can see what I mean. If you pause it, it'll take a second. Also, if we turn them around, you can see that their cast molding is a little bit different as well. So I might want to look into getting a authentic 2013 battle droid if it is possible. So that's issues 1, 2, and 3. Minifigures look great. I mean, look at Padme. Oh my lord. Not cracked. Good condition. That's my dream minifigure right there. Total nerdism at its finest. And when you pull her legs apart, she does say Lego between her legs, and that is the most important bit. And that leads me into my final and 4th concern, is the authenticity of the brick. Did I get ripped off? So far, besides the battle droids not being the correct era, everything is great. I'm very happy so far. Now, let's just go through the brick. Everything says Lego, Lego. How about our turrets? Where would it say Lego on a turret? Right there. And it's there. And that's what I got to do next, is just go through and see if all of my parts are correct. I'm not sure where it says on these. It says on the inside. And I'm seeing a majority of everything saying Lego, and that's what I want to see. So I honestly think at this particular point in the video, I did okay. I paid $460, which is kind of low-high, but I got white brick, I got authentic brick, I got authentic minifigures minus the 2 from the wrong decade. I got good transparent elements. I keep saying this over and over again because if you guys want to take the risk and do something as stupid as me and buy one of these at this price, these are the things that you guys got to look out for because people are praying. One of my biggest videos on YouTube is my mom getting scammed on a $900 Titanic that wasn't even real. We ended up getting the real Titanic eventually. She still hasn't. It's in a case, and it's happily ever after. There still is some things with the brown brick, but we'll go over that when we clean it and we get it built. So what's next is, well, guys, I'm going to go and I'm going to get this washed. I'm going to get it inventoried, and then I'm going to get it built. So you guys are going to see it built, and then you guys are going to get the rest of the story of what I found between now and then. But at least at this point of the video, we could rest easy that we're okay at 460. So let's see how all this turns out right now. So before I get into whether or not this project paid off for me or failed miserably in my face, I want to take a second just to look at the quality of books that older Star Wars sets or Lego sets in general came with. Now, nowadays they may be glue binded, thicker paper, etc. But I mean, for one, look at the graphics, the color. I mean, it's not white with the set on it. I mean, this looks like it's part of the box. We're clearly on Geonosis with this because this is episode 2. And of course, you know the outfits that matches Geonosis, so that would be why, Geonosis. Anyway, it just looks really cool. But you know what's also really cool? How when you go into the book and you take a look at the book, it is green on the inside to match the vibe of the Star Wars period that the set came out in for Lego. And if that's not cool enough, there's basically a watermarked Yoda on the pages where there's space. I mean, it's not every page, as you can see, but isn't that just trick? Okay, now that's enough of a detour of classic Lego books. I just wish that they still did it like this, but they don't. They make it simpler to save money on ink and all of that, because most people just take these and throw them away. Here it is. Now, I'm not going to do a full build and review on this set. That's really not the point. The whole point of this video is I bought something sketchy. I bought something expensive, and I don't know the purpose of buying used Lego sets if they're so damn expensive, but we all do it. And did I lose my butt or not? And as you guys can see, I did not. Now let's take a look at our minifigures. Now that they're all cleaned and done, everything's washed, inventoried. I did end up going back and getting another Super Battle Droid so that they all match to the 2013 era. They are slightly different, and I am anal retentive in my collecting. I did verify that the heads are the correct expressions, and the body parts are the correct body parts for the set. And I did the same thing with Padme, and I did find out that her gun was the incorrect gun, so I made sure to go and get the correct gun for her. I'll talk more about how I got the parts for this set later in the video. And then I had to do the same thing, except for I did have a spare gun for this guy, and over here I had to go and get the spare parts for him. And there's our other Super Battle Droid. Our Phase 1 troopers look great, and again, they got matching heads, and I made sure that they were the correct expressions for the set. So, that's the minifigures. Now, let's get into the actual set itself. And, I mean, is this thing a UCS set? Because it almost looks as strong and as detailed as my old 2021 UCS Gunship. I really missed that set, and I'm really happy now to have this set as a smaller way to replace it. We do have stickers on this set. I did not buy new stickers because they are $40 to $70 for a new sticker sheet. So, crooked stickers, it is all the way through. But we do have printed elements with our domes, so that's not too bad. But we do have extra stickers in here and also in our cockpit. If you open this up, you can take a look and see our little gauges. And those are put in really poorly. Some things about this set makes me feel like it was adult-owned, and some things with this set make me feel like it was child-owned. Also, that's another big-ass sticker. But I really do like the build quality of our little shooters right here, our shooting area, whatever you want to call it. And I do like the gribbling on the wings with the slopes and the angled pieces. I think it looks fine. The exposed studs, do not bother me. It is time period correct for Lego. And over here, it's more of the same thing with the stickers and all of that, as you can see all throughout. One of the dated things with this set is the use of these slopes that come down. It's just very and it's very flat. But again, unlike the one that just came out a couple years ago, the Coruscant Guard Gunship, at least it's all brick built down the side, and it actually looks really freaking good. Unlike the Coruscant Guard Gunship, because it's all plates, we do have storage on either side for any blasters or any play features that we may want to include with this set if we have more 2013 Star Wars sets and we're kids and we're playing. But that's pretty cool. As well as cool, I'm going to take you to an area where I also had some missing components, which was right in here. And now that that's opened up, you can open up the front, as you can see. That's what I just did. And then I'm going to wheel this little guy out. Not quite sure what he is, but he's kind of like a little rocket holder. And this was primarily missing everything. I had a couple parts to this, but this is one of the things I had to go and get parts for to fully complete. Again, not important, as it is just here and tucked away, as you can see. I really appreciate how white this Lego is. It looks really nice, and also how clean these window elements are. Now let's take a look at these turret cannon areas. And yeah, they're just very similar to what we get on the UCS, how they swing out and stuff. We do have these back doors that open up just like that, and we have a ton of play area and room in here. Close that back up. I like the simple use of smoke plates for these side doors on either side. This side opens up just like the other one did, so you guys can see in reference. Now coming around to the back of the ship, well, you know, we have some features. Actually, let's come back over here. We have these really cool flick rockets. As we saw in the front, we have the carrier form. Well, this is where they are supposed to go, so that is really cool. And I think, yeah, they can adjust and go places. I don't know why you'd want to do that. We also have a flying handle like we do on the new Coruscant Guard ship. I do like all of these use of Technic components and wheel elements and stuff to make these nice ion cannons or thrusters, what the hell you want to call them. And then we do have another little storage compartment back here for weapons. Really awesome. This piece is broken with the hinges. So I do have to get a whole new plate piece and fix that later on, but it works for now. Here's our back little turret right here, and here is our little latch that helps us open up our doors. We have one on either side. Speaking of doors, we do have one last door that when we open it up, we do get this awesome little bike. So that is really freaking cool that we have a little speeder that comes with this set, and the way it locks in is actually pretty nifty. Trying to do it through the camera, there you go, and it just hides up in there. Overall, I think this is a really cool set. I really don't think that the last owner did a bad job with putting on the stickers, but some stickers are questionable. Now let's zoom out and let's finish talking about this set and what it took to get to this point, and was it that bad? So let's go. So let's talk about the journey from where we started this video and try to go back. It has been over 24 hours of dedicated hard work to make this what you see. This is not something where you just take your fingers and it da-da. $460 set is now around a $550 to $600 Lego set from what I've appraised my work as being. It is a mind fry to get this done this fast. But I didn't get it done fast because I was in a hurry. I got it done fast because I was so excited for this set. This is a set that I've wanted for over around 2 years. So to finally have this set is just, it means a lot to me, guys. Unfortunately, I did sacrifice some other Lego sets to pay for it, but you know what? I sold those equal value or lesser sets for a set that is growing in value, so it's all good. So, going back to the beginning, it came in a sketchy box. The pieces were not numbered. They were all in miscellaneous bags. The only thing that had any sort of rhythm to it was the bag of minifigures. Everything else was just jambalaya. What happened after I turned off the camera? What about my concerns of it? Was it complete? Well, obviously I already said during the review segment that it wasn't. So what happened? Okay, well, I turned off the camera and I cleared off my desk and I took all those bags and I made a giant mountain of Lego. And then my cat got up here and freaked out and it went flying. And then I spent the next 3 hours numbering all of those pieces into 9 bins, because this set is a 9-bag set. And yeah, it was fun. Okay, but more exact, I just thought I'd be funny and share that part with the cat. The cat did jump up and kick my pieces everywhere, which totally sucked. But going through the pieces was excruciating. Like I said, this set was broken down into 9 separate bins for its 9 original bags. And inside of those bags that I dumped out over my desk, I had coarse black human hair, almost like pubes, in the Lego. There was dirt in the Lego. The Lego wasn't all that clean, and some of the pieces were broken, and I set those off to the side to be, accounted for to be replaced. But overall, it did take me a good couple hours to inventory it. Of course, I made my mistakes, and I had leftover pieces, and I put the wrong pieces in the wrong bins. But nonetheless, I had 98%, if not 99% of the set in 9 bins. So that was that phase. The next phase was deciding on, do I buy the parts right now, or do I clean the set, re-inventory it, and then buy the parts later? Well, due to my local secondhand Lego store, 5 Star Bricks, being closed on a Monday, well, guess what? That made me go home, get the set clean. I woke up on Tuesday, I inventoried the set again, and it turns out a good fifth of the missing parts that I was missing was just not put back in the correct bins. So I was able to get all of that done with a second inventory and a second sorting. So by the time I did get to 5 Star Bricks and I did get the replacement bricks, I had 100% of the pieces and the set was complete, ready to be built. Now, going into my 5 Star Bricks excursion, I have barely mentioned these guys before on the channel because they have not really came into play yet on the channel like, say, Bricks and Minifigs has in Vegas when I first started my channel out. But now I'm starting to do business with these guys, and now they're going to start popping up. 5 Star Bricks is a local, private, like Bricks and Minifigs, but not public or a chain. They're private, secondhand Lego store. They have tubs and tubs, bins and bins, and sorted piles of used brick. If you think the used pick-a-brick at Bricks and Minifigs is something to gawk over, no. This guy, I swear, instead of selling whole sets, he just takes them, smashes them, washes them, and puts the brick out for bulk sale. This guy has every freaking piece in his store that you could ever imagine. And when I needed parts of my 2015 Ferrari F40, they just gave me the little tiny palm full of parts that I needed, and that meant a lot to me. So of course, when I had this project, I went right back there. And you know the best part about it is, you spend about an hour to an hour and a half digging, and you find everything you want. I found the missing Super Battle Droid from the correct era. I found the flick missiles. I found the dark reddish brown headlight bricks, which was really rare. I found everything, and that was super cool. And the best part about it is, it wasn't even 50 cents for all of the pieces that I was missing. That is remarkable. Oh, and that counts the weapons, the missing minifigure weapons. That was part of that 50 cents. So a huge thank you to 5 Star Bricks for coming in there, because like with the Ferrari would have been about $15 for me to get it fixed, with the parts, the shipping, all of that. This was looking at on Bricklink to be another $30 to $35 worth of parts with shipping and everything to my door, plus the waiting. So for under 50 cents, they got this set fixed, they got the Ferrari fixed, and saved me, 100 times the cost, from 50 down to 50 cents. You can't go wrong. So a little bit of a teaser here, and a little bit off subject. I do have in this doggy bag here a little bit of local small business appreciation. Because they are so helpful and they saved me so much money, I did invest a little bit in a couple of projects for later down the road, and I picked up a couple 2018 Speed Champions cars. Low-key, in the background, since the last year and a half, I've been slowly collecting 2018 Speed Champions cars. I got the Mustang, I got the big Ferrari kit up there, and now we have this Ford. I think it's mostly complete with minifigure. I think it's missing just a couple things. And then we have this Ferrari. missing the minifigures and the extra wheel covers and stuff, but nothing too serious. I got both of those for about $29 out the door. Not bad. Like I said, these guys saved me 50 bucks. So to spend $30 in a couple of future projects, which I'll probably have to go back to their store to get the missing pieces for anyway, you know what? Fine by me. So that is 5-star bricks in this video and how they come into this whole thing of getting this done. Really appreciate them. Really a huge thank you, because this set, the Ferrari, were both completed because of them. And so that brings us to the final part of this video, the building experience. What was it like building a 12-year-old Lego set? Besides Town Hall and a couple modulars, this is the oldest Star Wars set. Well, I guess not the oldest. The oldest was the 1999 Land Speeder, but that's just like a basic overgrown polybag set. But this was my first, oldest, big scale, over 1,000-piece Star Wars set I've ever built. And you know what? I really enjoyed this build. I thought it was really cool how it was broken up over 2 books. I love how each of the phases of the build were basically secluded, and it all kind of came together, and then it was just like a traditional Lego set where you build this, blend this, stick that, these pieces, done. Really freaking awesome build. I don't like to be a person that's hung up in the past saying they don't do it like they used to, but this set really shows that they don't do them like they used to. A part of me really wishes that I could have the Coruscant Guard gunship just for a week longer. Unfortunately, I did sell it relatively quick. I think I sold it for about $110-ish. So I made some good money back on it, considering the set was only like $120 new. I wish I still had that set so I could put it next to this set so you guys can see why I wanted this one so bad. For one, the UCS version of this gunship. I really didn't care too much for the UCS version, but again, it looked really freaking cool with the red and the white. It was a really unique set. And even though I didn't care for it too much, and that was mostly because of its size, I still miss it from my collection. I did have to sell that in order to move here because of space and money. But then the Coruscant Guard gunship, that one always left me wanting to go back to this one. And yeah, the reasons are obvious. I mean, the Coruscant Guard gunship does not have these cool little wing turrets, the inner turrets. It's mostly red. It's smaller, it's platey and studdier, and it just has mid minifigures of Palpatine and Padme in a generic outfit, and a couple really cool, I think they were shock troopers if I remember correctly. It doesn't have the size and the pop that this one has. So overall, my entire experience from top to bottom, summarized right here, is this was a really on the edge but really engaging experience. This is the type of experience of why I do Lego, because it's a journey. You know, it gets stale just opening up a brand new set and opening up a brand new set and opening up a brand new set. When can we get into something exciting? And that is what I did with the Ferrari, and I should have shared more about that with you guys, but I was going through a weird phase, and I just let that one slip. And I'm happy to share this one with you guys. And you know, if there's a bucket list Lego set that you can't put the price around and purchase, sell some of your existing Lego. Even if you do lose a little bit, sell some of your Lego and go after that bucket list set. Go after it, because that's what I did with this one. I said, I don't really want to sell a bunch of my Lego sets for the money. The money's nice to have a little bit of extra, but the whole purpose was to make space. And I made a ton of space in my house. And I got space for this little guy because, well, he's just going to go right up here on my shelf where I'm going to be able to look at Padme for a very long time. But anyway, it was about space more than it was about money. So to take a little bit of that money and put it back into this and finally get this experience was just really cool. I'm really happy that it all worked out, from a sketchy box and a bunch of dirty pubic-like hair, and it turned into this wonderful bright white and red ship. I'm very happy. I also feel very fortunate and very lucky. And as I kind of said earlier, I did go back onto eBay and I did dig a little bit on the pricing, and it seems for a guaranteed sure shot with the speeder, with the weapons holder, with the minifigures and the blasters and white brick and clean windows, at least over $550 to $600 out of the box. That is a guaranteed, this is what you're going to get listing on eBay. Everything else is like what I purchased, where it's kind of iffy, almost leaning towards you're asking too damn much. I think I did pretty good. And that's all I really have to say on this video. If you guys want to drop any comments down below, please do so. I would appreciate your comments. Did you get this set when it was new? Do you like this set? What do you think about my whole progress journey, what I did here? Do you think I'm out of my damn mind? Let me know. And with that, don't forget to subscribe, share the video with a friend, hit the thumbs up, the like button. And up next on the channel, I am leaning towards a vending machine. Not exactly sure, because as I've said, I'm not filming a lot this month because I am focused on studying. And that's what I got to go back and do as soon as this camera goes beep and I say goodbye. So with that, guys, I'm off to study. Maybe a vending machine's up next. Thank you all for watching. You all have a good one.